too, all of that intention building, all of that learning why we do each posture a certain way, setting the feet a certain distance, preparing your postures through breath, focusing on a drishti. Every single one of those things to deepen your intention was to prepare you for meditation. It's my job as your teacher to remind you that the practice is about moving inward. What is the difference between other types of exercise in your yoga practice?
Yoga types are more focused on their movement.
Totally.
They're not connecting to your actual doing.
Exactly. Conscious with purpose.
Yeah, I think the mental benefits last longer. Like when you run, you get like a runner's high. First you get it at 3 miles, but then you have to run like 7 to get it again.
Yeah.
Yoga isn't like that. You can kind of have, like, even if you just do like a little restorative practice for like half an hour, you can still get like an effect that will last you through like the rest of the day or the evening. Even if like whether or not like wherever your intensity level is, you'll always leave with something. Whereas like other exercises, like if you go to, I don't know, like a tone zone or something like that, it isn't always like you don't always get that mental benefit that you carry with you. Whereas yoga, since that's a part of it, you always do, no matter, like, even if you're injured or sleepy or something.
Yeah, I agree.
It doesn't, like, it demands, like, only what your body's, like, ready to give versus having to push your body
Yes.
to get some sort of, like, benefit or whatever. But also wisdom is, like, weirdly goal-oriented.
Yeah. That was one of the best definitions I've ever heard, I think. How did you word that?
I don't remember.
Prepares your body for what it's ready to give?
Yeah.
Or something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was perfect.
I think in yoga too, you find out pieces of yourself you didn't know were there. Whereas like if you're in a spin class, you're just like, oh, this is another hill.
Yeah.
Whereas here it's like, oh, I wasn't aware of those thoughts. So I've noticed a lot of things about myself during yoga. Some of them good, some of them were like, oh, I don't like that. But
Totally. I think that's one of the reasons why the mental benefits maybe last a little bit longer. Yeah. So you have time to explore. Yeah. These are all really great answers. Yay! Good. Yeah, I'd say the biggest difference, if I were to define it, between exercise and your asana practice is exercise changes the way you breathe, whereas your asana practice is led by breath and changes the way you move. I like to look at it this way. In your physical practice, you can either force a posture like trying to shove your foot into a shoe that's a half a size too small. Like it could work for a little while, but just barely work, and you're gonna want to take your feet out of your shoes really quickly, which I'm sure everyone has felt in their yoga practice before, especially in like a really intense like kick-ass vinyasa class. You're like, oh my god, I can't wait to get to shavasana. I feel like if you're thinking, oh my god, I can't wait to get to shavasana, we might not be practicing yoga anymore. I think we've switched to exercise. So maybe keep that in mind in your practice. Or you can not shove your foot in a half-size small shoe, or a shoe that's a half-size too small. Instead, you could apply intention to your practice, and you could decide to move from the inside out.